Hi there and welcome to today's presentation. My name is Wynand. I'm the Managing Member of Winsome Wealth. Winsome Wealth has more than 15 years experience in the medical aid industry, and during that time we have seen significant changes to the legislation that governs the medical aid industry. As a result of all of this change, members though have become confused about the benefits that they are buying, and they no longer understand the benefits, the options, the premiums. So today we're going to unpack some of these concerns, and we're going to take a look at the various things that make up these costs and how you can best get value for money out of your medical aid. Kate, you've worked extensively with medical aid for a number of years now. What are members' major concerns?
Members really have two major concerns. The first is that they're paying far too much for medical aid. The second, medical aid doesn't cover enough. The two are really interrelated. They're paying a lot and they don't feel they're getting benefit for it.
We can't really blame members for complaining about that though. Medical aid has become very expensive, yet it remains important. People take a look at the public health system and increasingly they feel that they don't want to get service from the public health system. They'd much rather stay in the private system. So we need to take a look at what factors determine the cost of the private healthcare system. And essentially your medical aid covers three basic things. It's hospital cover, chronic cover, and day-to-day cover. So breaking that down, the hospital cover is the cover that you have while you are in hospital. The chronic cover is medication that you take on a day-to-day basis that is registered with your medical scheme in the rules as chronic medication. And the day-to-day cover is for things like doctors, visits, dentists, blood tests, medication that you get from the pharmacy.
It's really the day-to-day cover that members use the most, and that's the one that runs out. So you would think that that's where medical aid spend most of their money. But if we look at the Council for Medical Schemes 2015 report, it shows us that private hospitals is where most of medical aid's money is spent. In second place are specialists, and in third place medication. So 76% of everything that a medical aid spends is spent on these three things. In the next image, we can see where GPs rank. They're the dark blue area at the bottom.
So GPs spend out of a medical aid's average premium per beneficiary per annum is only 7%. And that is far too low. So the major drivers of medical aid costs are hospitalization of members and the specialist charges that go with that hospitalization. At least 75% of what you are paying for buys hospital and chronic cover.
Members often make the common mistake of upgrading their option in order to get more day-to-day cover. But if we look at an example of a typical option that has a percentage of the premium as savings, in this case 25%. On the good option, you pay 1,000 Rand, 750 Rand goes to your hospital cover, and 250 Rand goes to your day-to-day cover. You find you're running out, so you upgrade to what the medical aid calls the better option. Now you're spending 500 Rand more. 75% still goes to the hospital cover, 25% to day-to-day. You've upgraded, you spend 500 more, but you only get 125 Rand more for day-to-day. Essentially, you've upgraded your hospital and chronic cover and got very little of what you actually wanted, day-to-day cover.
So Kate, judging from that example, we can see that option choice is really, really important. And members need to know what they are buying. If we can give you just one hint from this particular part of the video, it will be to know your option. Know what it is that you are buying and what it is that that option is going to do for you. Then you will be happier with your purchase.
Wynand, what other factors determine the cost of a medical aid premium?
Well, one of the major issues is non-healthcare expenditure. In South Africa, non-healthcare expenditure on medical aids is as much as 12.2%. That's completely out of line with international norms, where it could be even a third or a quarter of that.
How do we solve this?
Well, it's a problem that should resolve itself naturally, Kate. Over time, what we're seeing, as we look at this graphic over here, that the number of medical aid members is increasing, but the number of medical schemes is decreasing. So over time, the number of beneficiaries per medical scheme should increase, and there should be some cost effectiveness that's brought about by having larger schemes in the industry. Another major factor is the legal requirements that surround medical aids. Medical aids are governed by the Council for Medical Schemes. They in turn are controlled by the Department of Health, and all of them are governed by the Medical Schemes Act. The Medical Schemes Act says that we need to do certain things to keep medical schemes solvent, happy, and healthy.
One of those things is the solvency ratio. The law says that 25% of all premiums paid to a medical aid must be kept in the bank at any time. If we have a look at this image, we can see that the legislation is working. Since the law was brought in, the solvency ratio of most medical schemes has increased. We're glad for this because it means that we know all the medical schemes are financially solvent. The problem is, on every single option, should that particular solvency ratio start to fall, either the medical aid has to increase the premiums or decrease the benefits.
Another factor are the prescribed minimum benefits. These are a set of benefits that all medical schemes have to cover by law. There are 25 chronic conditions, as well as 270 diagnosis codes, as well as emergencies. Now, the PMBs have been quite a controversial issue in the medical aid industry, and many feel that they are driving up the cost of the industry. Often, doctors are accused of coding things incorrectly. So, for example, a doctor might say, well, what we'll do is we'll code your depression as bipolar mood disorder because that's a PMB and depression isn't. Now, a member might think that that's a very good thing because, hey, I'm going to get my benefits covered. The truth of the matter is abuse like this just drives up the cost for everyone. But the PMBs are very important because it ensures that we have a way to compare sets of benefits on medical schemes in a consistent and regular fashion. And it also ensures that there's a minimum level of care that all members can expect.
So we've looked at several factors that determine the premiums of a medical aid option. The benefits that you're buying, hospital, chronic, and day-to-day. Also non-healthcare expenditure is a factor, and finally the legal requirements. But Wynand, if you were to give a member one piece of advice when it comes to their medical aid, what would it be?
The most important advice that we can give to members is for them to know their option. If you don't understand all the jargon in the brochure or the medical schemes rules, don't blame yourself. Many people don't understand. Get a hold of someone who knows what they're doing. There are many registered advisors in our office who will be able to help you. You can get in touch with us via email or on our website, or contact us. The contact details will follow. We want to thank you for joining us in today's presentation. It's been a pleasure being with you, and we trust that you're going to get benefit out of this information. Thank you. Goodbye.